Hey, it's Derek. Welcome out to Field to Fork Homestead. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to sustain yourself for a year on the homestead, what kind of equipment you'll need, some various topics we're going to cover today. What you're going to need in order to garden, you're going to need something to break the ground up with. Do you need a $40,000 tractor? No, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, is going out and they'll spend a lot of money, and you basically need something cheap. $2,500, $3,000 tractor. I use a David Brown 770. One of my buddies, he uses a Massey Ferguson 35. I have another buddy, he uses Farmall's. This here is a David Bradley. We use this. You can use this to break ground. You can put a turning plow on this implement. Here we have a layoff plow. We use this for making furrow rows to plant corn, beans, potatoes, etc. We use the tractor a lot to plant potatoes, but this is a real handy little tractor, two-wheel tractor, walk behind. It's real handy to have in the garden. And here we have a Troy-built horse tiller. This is good. You can farm a garden with either one of these. You don't have to have, like I said, a really big tractor to do so. My grandpa, when he was growing up, they broke the ground up with a mattock, and they used a hoe. Anything you can do to just get the soil loosened up to get the seed in the ground. Now, come on over this way. How much property do you need for a garden? How much do you need to sustain yourself for a year? Here we have approximately 200 feet by 120 feet bottom. This is late in the growing season. We do have a lot of weeds. We're at the end of our season. I wish we could have got you all started at the beginning of the year, but as you can see here, some of our peppers, and this is the last of the crop. You can walk over and show them a little bit about some of them. These are sweet banana peppers, and they're loaded. And we're going to be gathering some of these here in just a little bit. But like I said, now we've done and put up enough to just sustain us all year on these, and we gave a lot away. You're going to do well on a garden this size to have enough to sustain you for the year, much less have enough to sell. And are you going to make any profit on a garden around your homestead? More than likely, very little. It takes so much. A family of three, this is me and my wife and my little girl, we have enough to do us for a year, and have a little left over. But as far as selling and making any money, if we were going to try to make money, we would probably go in the hole, much less count our labor. The price of seed is so high, the price of fertilizer, and then you got to count your gas for or diesel for your tractor and your tiller or walk behind tractor, and then you got to count. You got to take into account your labor. We work 2 full-time jobs. Me and my wife, we both work a full-time job, and when we get home from work, we're out in the garden. Most of the time it's 10, 11 o'clock at night before we get back in. And I've seen people, they'll say that they'll take 200-foot rows of corn and it'll do them all year. I don't see that. We plant anywhere from 12 to 14 rows or more. That's 120 feet long. And that's enough to do us a year, but that's not eating it every day. That's spacing the meals out. Potatoes, you're looking at, this year I planted 350 pounds of potatoes, seed potatoes. had a really good yield on potatoes. We had a really good yield on corn. We had a really good yield on peas. Had several rows of peas out, sweet peas, super sugar snaps. Done really well on those. The garden's really done fairly well this year, all except the tomatoes. And we had a lot of really hot, and we were really dry, and they didn't do all that well this year. But these are, we have bell peppers. They done really well. I'll go ahead and show you some of those. And they're loaded. I mean, we'll show you the end result when we do our picking here in just a little bit. Pumpkins, we've planted a crop of pumpkins and a crop of cushaw. Most of y'all probably haven't never heard of cushaw, but in the older days they planted them, and what they had left, come on over, what they had left over they fed to the pigs, or they feed them to the cattle. And we'll show you a few of them. And like I said, overlook the weeds. It's late season. We're at the end of our crop. This is our second crop of cushaw and our second crop of pumpkin. We've already picked one crop, so we'll just walk down. We'll kind of show you some of them. Come on over. You can kind of. I let Lucia's on the camera. She can kind of show you some. There's some big ones. There's some small ones. These still have a while to grow yet. There's quite a few in here. I would like to thank, what time I'm on here, I'd like to thank Chris with Homestead the Hard Way. He sent me several different kinds of pumpkins this year. Some blue ones and pink ones. I'm really hoping they do good. I'd really like to see the pink and the blue pumpkins. I've never seen them before. But like I said, you know, we're at the end of our season here in southeastern Kentucky. Now, something else I wanted to cover. Insects. We have a lot of trouble out of seed potato. Mainly, we have a lot of trouble out of potato bugs, the Japanese beetle, and we also have trouble out of the stink bugs. And you know, we use several different kinds of what's the word I'm looking for? Pesticides. You know, to spray for insects. And then we also do a lot of organic. You know, we try not to, on some things we try not to use pesticides, but it's hard not to, especially with as bad as they are. Trying to think what else I wanted to cover. You know, back in the day, you had large families, and you would have 12, 14, 15 kids. My grandpa, I think he had 14 brothers and sisters, and you know, they everybody pitched in to do the farming and hoeing the corn, hoeing the crops, and they had enough to sustain them all year. But they had a lot of help. They had a lot of farm hands there to help them. And nowadays it's hard. You know, like I said, me and my wife, we work full-time jobs. We come home, we have to work in the field, and then that ain't even counting. You know, we have grass to cut, we have livestock to feed, we have a house to keep up. You know, we have a little girl we have to take care of. There's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. If you're really wanting to do this and you're wanting to commit to it, I can tell you it's a lot of work. This year we had probably one of the driest summers that I can ever remember, and it was every evening for probably what, Alicia, I'm gonna say close to 2 months. June and July.
Yep.
August wasn't so bad as it normally is, but we had to water the garden every day, every evening, every morning that we had a chance. We had to water, and we had so much garden that it was just impossible to water it all. At times we were running 2 and 3 pumps and still couldn't keep up. Behind you is another, just to give you another idea, there's another field behind the camera, and I'll let her turn around and show. It's since gone. We've already bush hogged it down, but it runs about, I'm gonna say it's about
It's just
400
it's
feet.
just a couple feet bigger than what this one is.
Well, it's long, it's wider.
Yeah.
It's about 400 feet wide, and it's about 120 feet rows. And I have a lot of good friends that help out, and we do a lot of this together. We'll go in and we'll partner on some of it and tend it together. It's like I said, it's a lot of hard work. If you're wanting to do it to make money, the price of things are so high, I just don't see it. There ain't enough profit to make it worth it. Can it be done? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, are you going to be satisfied with it? I'm not, as far as money goes, raising it and selling it. Am I satisfied with it for my family? Absolutely, because when we go to the grocery store now, we don't have to buy a lot of things. Mainly, we just have to buy the essentials. You know, bread, our soft drinks, water,
Milk.
We have sheep. We're hoping to get started milking some sheep, and maybe get that try to get that started. We're just getting established on our herd, but things of that nature, you know, that we have to, you know, are you going to be able to do this and not go to the supermarket? Probably not.
It's just the
More than
lifestyle.
likely not. It's so pricey. We save a lot of money just by, you know, what we can raise ourselves. And I want to, you know, y'all stay in touch with us. We're gonna be doing some more. We're gonna be gathering some peppers, and we'll put those on the video. And
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Field to Fork Homestead. As I told you a few minutes ago, we was gonna pick some peppers. And we're at the end of our crop. And these are really beautiful peppers. They've done excellent this year. They really have a lot on them. I'm just waiting for some to get a little bigger. Liz can show you, she can walk through and show you some of the plants, how many peppers are on them.
So the growing season for peppers is as long as it don't frost on them. With green peppers, you can keep those on the vine and they will turn a yellow color.
Certain kinds will.
Certain kinds will turn a yellow color the longer that you keep them on the vine. And it's the same with the banana peppers. These are our sweet ones. They're turning from the green to orange.
Red.
And eventually to red. And it's the same way with these peppers as what it is the green peppers. As long as it don't frost on them, they will continue to grow. One thing that we've learned in all of our gardening trial and errors is you don't plant a hot pepper next to a sweet pepper, because if you do, they will cross-contaminate and you will have all hot peppers. That's what I said.
You said cross-contaminate.
I said contaminate.
Yeah.
Oops.
Pollinate.
Well, we're gonna they will cross pollinate, and they will all become hot peppers. And if you are not a fan of hot peppers like myself, then you won't be happy. But so here we have our bell peppers and our sweet banana peppers. And in between our hot peppers, we have put some tomatoes. But like Derek said earlier, our tomatoes just didn't do as good this year as what they've done in previous years. And mainly that's because of heat. You know, we all tried our best to get the water to them, but it just didn't help. But here is our hot peppers. The plant is loaded down. And then we actually planted, not that I use them, we actually planted some jalapenos. And those, if you keep them on there long enough, will turn red as well. And here's another hot banana pepper.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Pepper growing season, to start peppers, to get them out in the garden here in eastern Kentucky. I have planted them before the 1st of May, but they really didn't. The frost always got them. I like to wait at least till the 1st of May to plant my peppers and tomatoes, just so they'll be safe from frost, and gives the ground a little more time to warm up.
The things that you have to worry about growing and frost still falling, you're going to have your peppers. Now this is just the things that we plant. You're going to have your peppers that you're going to have to worry about. You do not want frost to fall on them.
Tomatoes.
You're going to have your tomatoes. If you set those out before May, before the last frost of the season, you do have to cover them up. You can either cover them up with a bucket, or I've seen people up north use milk jugs. Just whatever you can use to get the plant covered up and safe from the frost.
You have to, your green beans, you have to wait on, frost to kill those. Corn. It'll nip the tips off of corn, but corn's pretty tolerable to frost.
Peas
too much frost will kill it, but it will stand quite a bit. Even tomatoes will stand a little bit of frost, but not very much at all.
Cucumbers will not stand frost.
No, cucumbers, squash, any of that will not handle frost.
Peas
Potatoes
normally do pretty good though.
I've seen it snow on peas and cover them up in snow, and they'll be fine. Potatoes, frost won't hurt potatoes. It'll bite them off, but they'll come right back.
And that's mainly the stuff that we normally plant.
Tell them a little bit about what we focus on the most. Beans, peas, potatoes.
We normally start our garden season. Well, we plant our peas in February. And then after the peas are gone, we normally use the same ground and plant our beans.
Right.
Those are normally in the ground by May sometime. We plant corn and beans. I mean, I already said beans, but sometimes we plant beans in with our corn. Our tomatoes, we plant zucchini and squash. And then
Those
our
are the main
peppers.
things we focus on. Cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are the things that you want out early in the spring here in eastern Kentucky. Sometimes it's hard to get plants early enough. I've had trouble several years getting plants, and I want to put it out and I couldn't find any plants. And sometimes you just have to wait unless you bed your own. And we have tried that, but I find it easier to just buy my plants at the local greenhouse. Some things I do bed and raise my own plants, but cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, I like buying my plants already ready to go in the garden. Another reason is because we're just pressed for time. We don't have a lot of time to as much time as we would like to commit to to that. But you want those kind of plants. You want them out early as possible. And we're going to pick some more peppers. And like I said, come back and see us. We're going to be doing some more videos. And remember, you can never plow a straight line looking back.